not being able to win the gunfights that they need to actually have a numbers advantage that they're anticipating. So there is a level of just simplifying it down to the most common denominator, which is shoot gun better, win fight more, win map, move on, that type of mentality. So again, as soon as we get to the last 10 seconds, I got my stopwatch ready here on my phone. I'm gonna go. I've got 27 minutes and 36 seconds. That's how long this map is gonna be.
Okay, we're gonna see how accurate you are. We'll see how accurate you are, that is for certain. But a mid play to start things off here for Catface, fully scaling up here. That pinch over towards A main. It's an A crunch through and through. Yep,
feels that way, and well, Autumn will feel that and just back off for now. Trying to trust the Razor Vines and the ability to, separate the spike carrier actually by the Vice Wall. Defense will stack, try to play this up top towards tower. And immediately try to bounce in is Terror. They don't actually see Sin, though, on ropes at the moment. These are some effective shock darts. Now's able to pitch for one. Paranoia cuts across. Terror responds, but KIRI's stuck at the moment.
Yeah, I think they've got a great crossfire. You've got Sin creeping up the rope here as well, just to do a little bit more of that damage. And all of a sudden down to a 1v3 here for Autumn. Finds the first with the right click. Icy is waiting on site. MEOW, they net the first round there, Shift. This is,
just tell me where they are.
I think, what we're kind of like looking for on the side of Catface, right? This is very reminiscent of how they were trying to approach the attack there on Corrode. A little bit more of that faster pace there as well. Just trying to support Icy as much as possible in those entries.
Yep. And you can kind of see just the replay of it from the overhead perspective. Again, that flash over the top does a lot of the damage, but more so, it's just a lot of, again, just pat on the back towards Sin. Great utility usage to soften up that defensive retake. So pistol goes the way of MEOW's offense, and they will find themselves only facing 4 sheriffs in resistance here in round 2. KIRI looking to isolate, little jump across, not a bad idea, but that's what we're talking about. Effectiveness not quite fully there. Luna's gonna find 3. Kalsushi, a nice little double tap for 2. And that's going to be a Bulldog looking for more. Paranoia, almost able to find something. And as Cal tries to find the timing to repeat, will be punished. Now it's down to Autumn's 1v3.
Sheriff in hand, no shield there either. And yeah, we're going to have to make a lot of mistakes for Autumn to be able to pick up this round.
Autumn, wow, going to get blessed with the 1v1 opportunity for a moment there, but can't convert. So a couple of Sheriff shots impressively hit, but largely no sweat for MEOW. They win the anti-eco, save the majority of the rifles that they had brought in the last round for the bonus. And on the other side, a couple of light armors and a Stinger or Guardian for Bunny B. Has this full purchase, quote unquote, looking a little softer than you would anticipate.
We are seeing that proactivity come in, right? And Catface had a good read on it, anticipating the push down. Honestly, there was a world where I was like, does Kalsushi just like 1v5 this round with how good they've been playing throughout this entire series? Like, there's so many reasons why we're singing their high praises there, especially on Haven with the impact that they've been able to have with those picks. But now knowing that they're...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, knowing that they're on, like, the anti-eco and whatnot,
yeah.
like, KIRI, they're not looking to get aggressive this time.
Yeah, and there is something about, you know, not showing your hand too early, because I was going to say for Kurosu, it's about getting onto site and finding value with the double tap. If the ISO can stay on site, it becomes very difficult to work through that extra shield ability. Gonna get a 1v1 over through mid-map for a first blood to KIRI. Autumn in some trouble at B. Has to back off. Paranoia will be avoided for the most part, so a little bit of offensive utility spent. And honestly, even though you got possession of B, this is going to take a second for the spike to actually get there with that Vice Wall still up.
Yeah, but you can still walk around it. It goes down just in time for Sin to be able to get over towards backside as well. But this is the fast flood we're looking here for KIRI.
Decoy flash comes through, but MEOW find the eliminations that they need initially to hold this off. On the corner, Kalsushi finding another. But Habidi in the back of the side. Oh my goodness! A little 1v3. Luna was not really in the picture, and the backside retake gets completely stuffed thanks to Habibti.
Huge bonus coming in for Catface here, and Habibti is one of the players that we've been talking about throughout the day as well. Her and Abby have been huge difference makers. We looked at that differential when it came down to the first bloods, and then the net rounds actually won for Corrode, and so much of that came down to like either Abby or Habibti hitting some sort of insane multi-kill to somehow even things up after KIRI get that first pick.
Right
Well,
here.
again, the economy gets completely flipped again as KIRI Magenta is going to have to largely stick onto Sheriffs again. And MEOW is getting rich quick. See the setup this time of the Razorvine right behind the Vice wall. Autumn trusting they can watch the ledge jump. Arc Rose behind it in case they need to bail and at least pause the hit. But this is all about trying to stack for this crossfire at A at the moment, and there's just no one home.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to be very similar to what we saw in Corrode as well, like where cafes were constantly trying to abuse the site that Autumn was playing the anchor on, and we weren't seeing that variety in her positioning, despite the fact that she's able to consistently get a couple with that shotgun previously.
Well, Tara's able to hit the opener. Autumn gonna get maybe a chance, but doesn't trust that Luna had gotten on the side. Whoa, patience for Tara nearly works out, and then the no-scope comes through. Sin able to snap for a couple. Luna following up, and it's gonna be down to see if Tara can at least cause some distraction while Bunnies tries to get back into the picture.
Drop in a smoke.
30 seconds left.
Both about half health.
Catch! I got the spike.
Wow. It's on a knife's edge, this 1v1. But the spike is collected.
Position.
Luna thinks that Bunny's playing deep. It's not the case.
No peeking.
Smoke comes through. Bunny trying to flash. Doesn't fully hit. There's a second, but no! Doesn't check the corner! And Luna's gonna tally 4 on the way to a flawless start for MEOW Empire.
Such a great reposition coming out from Luna Fox. Being able to get that smoke down just in time as well to be able to wrap around. Really nicely played. But it came down to first heroics from Terror and Bunny Bee for that to be even so close as well on the side of KIRI. That's definitely a tough round for KIRI Magenta to be losing. And insane confidence to continue to carry forward this momentum here for Empire Cafes.
Well, from the shadows, committed to on Vents. Bold to say the least. Yeah, Bunny gets a read on that, finds the first elimination. Kalsuchi in trouble in the corner, can't find much. And Bunny B from up top will have every gun looking down their direction. Terror, for one, trying to get the overheal into play. Can you follow up for more? No. And finally, you start to see MEOW cooking with some gas. 5-0 start looking polished.
And that's after things were totally slowed down for MEOW at the beginning of that round too, with the vulnerable, the uppercut coming out from Kurosu, just stalling that push a little bit longer thanks to the suppress that goes out as well. This is definitely tough looks for KIRI at the moment. I think that proactivity that we're looking for those fights haven't quite been coming in, but that's also partially because Catface are so good at adjusting as we talk through this KIRI timeout. They're also good at like just taking a beat, waiting, anticipating, okay, how much are KIRI going to try to bite off at the beginning of this round? And can we catch them off guard in response? Are we just waiting a beat? The reads have been just really nice and well called there by Luna Fox.
Yeah, and it's another thing too to kind of, again, just point the picture of like, there's not a lot of stall potential into KIRI's build outside of how Vice is set up and then where you can put the smokes down for Terror. That's really it. And, you know, no real full way to, you know, confirm a counter flash unless the Arc Rose stays up or if Bunny Bee can find some sort of a bounce off of their own. But you don't have things like the Paranoia is what I'm leaning at. You don't have things like the replaceable dark cover to try to keep controlling some of those choke points as easily as you would be able to with the double controller. So, yeah, there's definitely, you know, something here talking about just Empire understanding where their opportunities are and just taking them flat out. Just beat them to the punch.
Over there.
Yeah, just looking, I think, a little hesitant off the utility at times, but instead looking for a walk up, and it's the opening pick there from Bunny B. Now with Luna Fox going down outside of A as well, those smokes are not going to be usable across the map.
Terror sees some information but can't do too much with it. At least not initially. This push through at A, going to be held by the Cyber Trap. And the offense, well, actually, no spike in hand. Had to come back to it, and Habidi will see the folly in this setup. problem is the offense has already found another set of eliminations deep through B. So if you're KIRI, you kind of have to stack here at A main and hope that you can just play this crossing fire on the actual spike itself.
Yeah, they move so deep into mid, and now to try and reclaim this is definitely going to be awkward. The walkthrough as well, spotted there by Icy. Kill contract to secure it. Sin's got to play bodyguard.
Oh, but Icy wins it. And now Sin following up. No, not going to happen. And Terror will take Icy down as they teleport back into the main playing field. First round on the board for KIRI, and it comes in a bit of an unexpected element, I'll tell you that much.
I think I like the walk up there. Just not telegraphing it is huge for that aggression for KIRI, because MEOW are trying to wait for that signal, right? That's why you see them playing so far back. Is okay, are we going to see the vulnerable being used? Are we going to see a flash going out? But the walk up, so that the timing, it just isn't as understandable right off the gate there for Catface is huge to be able to take those advantages that you were talking about, Shift.
Well, here we go. Undercut comes through again. Hunter's Fury to follow behind that. That'll work out for 1, 2, and 3. What a set play that is for KIRI. A perfect undercut, a perfect prediction, and Cal Sushi starts to shoot nukes out of the bow. The double tap shield has Kurosu in an easier 1v1, and quickly KIRI tally together 2 in a row.
Nice. Great success that we're seeing from KIRI off the back of the timeout that was called just a couple of rounds ago. The adjustments into for Catface, they're going to call one right back. They found the 5 rounds in a row to start off the beginning of this half, and now it's about trying to stave the bleeding, right? Not allow KIRI to try and take this momentum and run with it for a comeback early on into Abyss. And I think I really like that swap up Shift. Like they go for like the silent contact up towards A main and then completely switch gears with that Hunter's Fury play into the next round, really catching MEOW off guard.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. So MEOW gonna think about this one a little bit. After the last 2 rounds had been essentially just counteracted by counter aggression from KIRI. And I don't know, is that the game that Empire are fine playing, or is this just going to be kind of like fire fights fire with more fire? Like it just, you know, do you just kind of keep sticking to it, and maybe these rounds are determined in the first 25 seconds of them? Because if you're Empire, I think again you're still talking over the fact like, hey, like if we can win these opening gunfights, they just don't have the ability to stop us after that. Like, could be something in that, but we'll see. They try to pause a little bit here. Full gun round in round number 8 on the way. Hunter's Fury at the ready. Flip side, Bunny B will be looking at a dimensional drift usage as well. So pretty important round here in the first half.
Unsurprising to see them revisiting this B site either. I think that being so aware of the fact that Autumn is playing that hard anchor with very little support, the positioning good for Autumn at the very least to try and get out on this execution, play that retake, especially Paranoia coming through.
Yeah, Vines outside the wall, works up for the perfect setup. Luna's going to try to force the comeback, though, and is able to find one, but not much else. And yeah, you're right. This is off the timeout. MEOW say, let's revisit B at the same rate. I think, you know, a little bit of my own pat in the back where it's like, okay, we want to still play with some force and some aggression and force KIRI to possibly try to retake with lower numbers, but they're not winning the gunfights in the last handful of rounds, and now you start to worry a little bit for MEOW as the momentum is cooking for KIRI. Vagena.
I'm kind of surprised that they actually went for the dash play past the wall, though, because you can very comfortably scale over towards the left side of the map, take back sight, still get that plant down, instead of taking the massive risk of trying to get through the thorns where we didn't see like a shock dart coming through to like try and take those down like a little bit earlier and whatnot. And now the swap comes in here for KIRI's defense. I think this is maybe the first time that we're seeing Autumn actually fully shift over toward, or actually maybe the second time that we're seeing her shift over towards this A site.
Well, with lesser weaponry, KIRI are not holding off at all. Contingency wall sent out, all the pings coming through for Bunny. Yep. That's about as fast as it could be. Now, there are 2 offensive members who've kind of played through this, but Icy is found, dealt with, and now it's just down to a beepty. And just to kind of finish this point, you know, this isn't just aggression now for KIRI. They can stagger up some really important ultimates to really run away with the back half of this first half.
Yeah, they definitely can. Team Ace here on the side of KIRI And the adjustments since that timeout have been honestly phenomenal. Shift. I think this is where we really see KIRI shining, is when they're going for a lot of those set plays. The reads have been good to kind of read into those stacks to see where they're going to capitalize off of kills as well for the defenders. And that was what was missing a little bit on Corrode. We saw them using those same tactics of like disrespect on Haven, now bringing it back to Abyss. They've gotten that understanding as far as utility wise. They have so much more in the tank to actually reply with in those firefights compared to MEOW that really only have like the paranoia.
Deep recon bolt comes through. Whoa, blind kill contract pulls. It's Kurosu versus Sin, and Kurosu will take the win. So an early 5v4, KIRI playing with some patience here in this round, kind of changing the tempo up, and it catches MEOW off guard.
Yeah, with the swap in the setup as well, they were trying to make that read a little bit harder. Abby to punish. She's been so consistent at taking those opportunities in those 1v1s and finding success in those fights.
Wall tripped.
Oh, there's the proc on the wall. No full follow-up, and Terror is able to find the isolation on the Luna on the other side. Nice snap from Autumn. A little bit of spam as the paranoia does land nicely. Reveal comes through though for Cal on the flip side. Cannot find any connection with it though. So 3v2, but a little bit of time and space to isolate one and still plant. Winnable here for MEOW. Tough shots, they land. Follow up on the Terror is pretty good. They can't finish the kill though. Down to the 1v1. Habibity, caught with the weapon in the back pocket, and it's Terror for a 1v2 Red Bull clutch to get us tied at 5.
You saw the patience from Terror as well, just ensuring that the headshot was going to line up, not getting too frantic in that final fight to tie things up 5-5. This is what Empire were trying to avoid with that timeout that was called during round 8, right? These adjustments and the setups have been great. I think this particular round, we saw, you talked about how they were playing a little bit more bunker. They weren't giving anything away. And that had to do with them changing up like the defaults of how they were holding that defense. Now, going back to what we've seen previously from KIRI, the standard setup, Autumn alone over towards B, but has the Steel Garden this time around to be the difference maker.
A little bit of decay will come through. Steel Garden out. Icy beats the timing though before the weaponry gets pulled away. Hunter Sphere are going to be called to be a part of this one from the offensive side, but Terror beats that timing with 2 of their own. And still avoids a lot of the damage from the Hunter's Fury itself, turns that into an opportunity for 3 and maybe even more. But Sin playing back towards window, misses an opening shot, now gets decayed down to a single point of health. Terror wants it, but gets a little greedy. Still gonna try to come back into the action though. Nope. Lightning not gonna strike twice here.
But look at this crossfire. You've got one right below you. The operator watching. Just on top. Drop down. Not going to expect Kurosu there. It was a great setup for KIRI to guarantee that they'd be securing that round in the 1v3.
What a bounce back, though, after 5 straight for MEOW. Now you're on 6 in a row for KIRI, going into a potential 7-5 half where the purchase for Empire is less than stellar. And I just have to point to it. Yeah, maybe the first 3 rounds of these 6 were determined by speed and tempo and just a overall flip of the switch in terms of how KIRI's defense is playing. But the last 3 have just been great utility and mostly ultimate usage to kind of keep MEOW on their back feet.
Ooh, off the sound signal too. We're expecting the vulnerable to come in, the flash to go out.
What a reveal on top of that. Oh, mercy. Has it ever looked this good? Oh, goodness. Bunny somehow gets 4, and it's going to be a flawless for a 7-5 half. And we're at 18 minutes and 42 seconds with 2 timeouts. My prediction's looking pretty good.
Okay, relax. You know what? You definitely deserve a little medal if you get this one like on the dot. But 7 rounds in a row, a flawless one to end off the half here for KIRI is absolutely insane. It felt like after that timeout, I think that was like, what was that round 6 timeout just before the round started coming out from KIRI. They've just been firmly in the driver's seat since then, right? I think the utility that you were talking about has been so good, but Terror's also been insane on their squad as far as being able to really equalize a lot of those numbers if they do go have someone go down in the first blood. Now, you see the walk up on the other side of the map right now. MEOW, they are very aware of the fact that it should be a 5-player hit here towards B.
And gate crash has to be watched just a touch. Undercut actually avoided by Abby, but Bunny's still able to connect with the headshot. Quick plant on the way. Fox has to back away and wait for this long flank to develop from the backside of this, but Luna's gonna have to stand her ground and try to fight. And now all of a sudden, this post plant becomes extremely difficult to deal with unless your name is Icy. 2 huge long-range sheriff shots land, leaving Terror on the low ground by himself. But really good shot in the middle of the dash. Sin following up for 1, but is caught on 22 points of health. And a 1v2 where, yeah, not gonna happen. Terror for 3, KIRI with the pistol, and they now grow their lead to 3 with 8 in a row.
There's a reason why we've been talking about Terror this entire time. Like 24 and 8 right now. Again, the heroics from them have been so crazy. And a lot of those B site hits from Catface in the previous half came down to Terror being that support alongside Autumn to find those trades. MEOW, I think the attacking side also just gets so much more, or the defensive side gets a little bit more difficult for them as well, just because they don't have as much of that information that they can really like play off of. Double controller definitely sacrifices a lot in that regard.
Well, this walk down could provide a weapon collection. There's no one here to trade Autumn.
Refreshing.
And Autumn's only able to find 1. That will be an instant call, though, for KIRI to dive onto the B site and really force the hand here of MEOW's defense with just the 1 weapon collection. Did they pick up the Bulldog yet? No? Okay.
Yeah, just, I guess, ran on past it. Heaven still had here by KIRI. They're more than happy to give it up after how that fight went last time around.
Well, it's going to be a similar idea. Paranoia over the top doesn't quite land, but neither do the shots from Terror initially, so a muse of entrance here for MEOW. Bunny able to find, okay, 2. I was going to say 1 for the moment, but second shot does land. Terror looking for high, has to go down low, able to find 1, jumping over the top. Whoa, okay. Luna will eventually be dealt with, and KIRI take the anti-eco cleanly to get to 9.
Not just getting to 9. Again, like taking a look at the timeline here, 9 rounds in a row for this team is absolutely insane with the hot start that MEOW got off to in the first half. Gonna have a little bit value still from the Outlaw being carried over with the light shields that we're going to be seeing on Habuti and Abby. Ensuring that it is just going to be a 1 shot to the body to be able to take them down. Looking for mid this time around. A quick walk up from Icy right off the gate.
Nice shot from Icy, but Bunny responds with one of their own. Play through middle starts to develop, and wow, the timing of that flash, maybe unintentionally perfect. But Luna still battling on long range, as both teams are just kind of happy to take this TDM at middle at the moment, and more so for MEOW with the superior weaponry. And that now means that Autumn finds themselves in a 1v3. Now, the only bonus here is that you do a little bit of weapon shopping, and 2 of the players are on 1 health territory, essentially. So there's a world here if Autumn can hit her shots that this is possible.
Not ready yet.
Yeah, you've got Trip still down on the A site for the cross into site itself. Front site will be free, but you can see Abby is looking to jiggle there as well. A lot to play with.
Rip and tear.
That's not fun. Oh, but Autumn actually avoids it, at least initially, but Sin takes away the angle, finds the kill, and the bonus will be staved off. 9-6 the call, going into the full purchase of round 16.
Taking a look at the alt economy, slowly starting to scale up here. could be a move where we're gonna see maybe. Actually, no, we're not seeing actually Bunny be leaning for either of the extremities. So the ultimate goal, not quite the ult orb, to get that dimensional drift online into this round. I mean, Bunny has been so consistent though with a lot of these opening picks. So the expectation for her to find her one is there at the very least to get that Yoru ulti online.
Here we go again. This little battle at middle continues to just be a little bit of an aggressive game of tug of war. Icy seen on the cross, also has information on at least one. Cues the dash, looks for the fight, finds it. It's a spike carrier down. Now the knives are out. Backs away though. Shield broken. Habibti able to finalize the elimination. Bunny B trying to dash over and actually avoids the majority of the right click off the dives. And actually stays alive beyond as Luna tries to finish the damage that had been dealt. And now all of a sudden, talk about cause and effect. Buddy turns that into 3. Habibti still trying to hang on top of the site. Bunny just down to 20 health.
Cutting through.
And will back away and see if they can find a different part of the map to fight for.
Yeah, running back right now, both players on cat face playing together. A little anime battle on site, essentially. Like, it was crazy that Icy even lived for so long. The utility was so good to be able to find that 2K as well. Signal will be given once that trip is broken here over at A. Actually, I thought they were going to maybe hop up over it. Just in case someone's waiting. The TP back! Oh.
Cute. Not
I
cute
saw
enough.
the vision.
Yeah, I think we all did.
I saw the vision. I just not expecting, I think, cafes to have stuck around that B cipher like that long, but I mean, makes sense when you have the trip for that earlier signal and then you just race away. Man. Important 2 rounds though there for MEOW to be picking up. They cut off that 9-round win streak that KIRI managed to amass for themselves midway through the first half.
Well, I see you're gonna hear some footsteps. It's Terror on the corner. Dash queued, and Icy will know that you're chasing red dots a little bit. Meanwhile, on B, Bunny's able to find an opener. And actually, this is all just essentially a show of fake force, but it gets shut down. And now you have to know that Abby is, very eagerly awaiting this play, but whiffs an uncharacteristic one. Had Autumn dead to rights, misses the shot, and KIRI's gonna get the plant.
My ult is ready.
Got ult up here for Terror as well for a second chance at life. Habibti with the From the Shadows over towards A main.
Well, Sin will be tagged by the Owl drone.
Oh, good
Support
blind.
is nearby. Paranoia from the other side of the site. I don't know if it really connected onto anybody. It may have just threaded the needle. It doesn't make much of a difference, though, as Sin finds 2. Terror trying to come back to life. Trying to dance with it. Trying to provide something for Autumn to work with, but it's not going to happen. MEOW respond, and it's a 9-8 tally.
It's a great retake coming in from MEOW. Habibti with that positioning, having that line for the Paranoia was massive, and I think it did end up catching out Terror there, but the main thing was, even if they weren't able to capitalize off of them being blind, it was trying to funnel them into the crosshairs of the players trying to flood in from CT and make that fight a little bit more awkward for the players in the post plant. KIRI now are the ones where we're looking for them to find an answer with the guns in play. It took them a while in the first half to finally get a read of how they wanted to approach the defense. Now on the attacking side.
Over there, destabilizing.
Hunter's Fury going to be called here off the get-go. Sin not really even coming close to hitting anybody with that. The offense will instead make their way through the Cypher setup and onto A. There's one reveal, but again, the Dimensional Drift is playing a little bit better of a recon. And Autumn will be aware of the 1v1, take the win, and the spike will go down 5v4. Now more. Yep, that'll work. It's just a scale through the backside of A that works out well. Do I say flawlessly? I do. I do say flawlessly. 10-8.
Hey, nice way to take advantage of that that conditioning that was being done there from KIRI as well, right? Just showing that ISO utility, and then for Catface, the anticipation that it was going to be that B-pop, even baiting out that Hunter's Fury, hoping to catch that line of the entire team, potentially, just waiting on the other side. Operator online now, though, here for Empire. Icy is going to be positioned over towards mid. This is something that's been consistently contested by KIRI, and they've been really good at popping those flashes through the smoke. Top cat there as well.
Icy's gonna get maybe a chance here. Oh, just steps away, can't lock down the aim. It bounces on her, and that will be Bunny following for a second. And KIRI will hold a 5v3 for a moment. Get together, group up, wait for the smoke, and then dive onto A where it is wide open as MEOW we're going to play for a save.
Standing ahead.
Yeah, just take that operator, carry it back over. That is a tough way to lose out on that round, too. Like, you invest into the operator. That mid fight is something that had been consistent for KIRI previously as well in that first half, so it's definitely a little bit difficult. Icy has found success previously as well. Like, the walking down towards library is something that has been looking good for how Catface has been approaching their mid control.
Well, some pressure is starting to amount here onto MEOW, and I hate to point to negatives, but for as tight as this map has been, the X factor in map number 2 in Abby has been absent in this map. Just 3 and 15 after a stellar performance in map number 2. And, you know, no discredit. I think she's been in fine positions. It's just been, I don't know, just not being able to handle, really in this half, the double duelists that have just been kind of running it down through her setup, like with no cause for concern. So tough scenes for Abby. Needs to step it up if they want to get MEOW back in this game.
I think that's the other thing, too. You talk about the double duelist, not just the fact that it's double duelist, but the Yoru and the ISO, like, you've got a clone that's being thrown into your trips. You've got Kurosu throwing up that double tap for the extra shield and just not making it as potent as you would like it to be. And again, trying to find this pick over towards mid. It's just going to be Bunny B waiting on the other side. The rest of the team slowly scaling up towards this B site. Nice shot.
Luna follows. Yep, able to get themselves back into the picture. Icy is committed to the low ground, though. This is not where you want to be, and that's why. Immediately dealt with. But Luna able to secure the comebacker. Terror down low. Good moment here, but can't quite finish off of the opportunity. Autumn trying to follow up for the little tag, and in. How about Sin? Off shot lands. Can they do it again? Whoa, it's the classic that gets the job done, and Sin for 3 has MEOW at a 9-11 score tally.
I gotta give kudos to Sin for how that was played there, too. I think Autumn, anticipating the fact that Sin had the operator picked up, didn't think that they were going to be going for a swing so quickly, and weighs the risk of taking out that arc rose for the flash. In the moments like that, I feel like you just got to keep your gun out. It's so hard to say in the chaos of it, that's for certain. Now, 2 rounds away for closing this out for KIRI. MEOW have been doing a great job at clawing back so far. Operator already revealed here. Icy on an island on B.
I can't use that.
That's so much utility.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Okay. How? I have questions, but we have to wait for the answers, as Luna may have had an opportunity, but Bunny gets a critical elimination, and Autumn follows up with a flanking kill through mid. That's going to really up the tempo here for MEOW. They have to commit forward. They cannot allow this flank to ruin them, but doesn't make a difference. The post plant setup too strong, and it's match point for KIRI.
Match point.
I'm still stun locked by the fact that Icy even got out there. Like, yeah, MEOW, they don't win out the round, but like, that was some escape artist shenanigans. Match point, though, and series point for KIRI. 3 opportunities to close it out before we head over to a potential overtime if MEOW can find the comeback. And you're looking at Catface Empire. The buy that they have going in here, definitely not impossible when you think about these 5 players. The stack over towards the B side not going to be the right read this time, as KIRI are heavily outside of mid and A. But Shift, this is elimination too for both of these teams. Again, if they want that chance for championships, for GCC, they've got to make the entire run. Win it out in grand finals.
Well, here's the plan. Are there heroics involved? The stack on the guess was incorrect. So now you have to retake. First action, not a good one. Kill contract. That'll pull. Rosu deals with Habibti, and now it's just down to, are there any miracles in the mix? Not looking good. The Odin does find a couple. Terror trying to make their way back into the action. Recon Bolt there as well, and Terror will finish it. 13-9. And my guess was close, but no cigar. 35 minutes and 20 seconds. I think I said, what, 28-42, 27-42?
Yeah,
bad,
I think
close.
you said, like, yeah, you're pretty close, but
What's your
a
time?
massive, yeah, definitely. I think this is a massive win here for KIRI Magenta, though. They continue to stay alive into the lower bracket, trying to make that run happen. And not just that, they got their revenge up against Empire Cafes, too, for that loss that they, the 1-2 loss, I think it was, up against Cafes in the Swiss stage. But it feels like they're just those rounds Shift where KIRI will just turn up